It allows me to make more authentic friendships. It allows me to choose better partners. It allows me to be more discerning when it comes to allowing people in my space, because I get to just live in my authentic desires and actually figure out what those are instead of shaping my desires around what people told me they should be. So
You are. And I've always been a go-getter. There's truth in every word I write. It's the bad can get better. Gotta be wrong before being a go-getter. There's truth in every word I write. But still the cup and
pieces of my peace of mind, I try. I don't want to admit that I can't lie to myself. To my heart. Oh.
every little thing is written to know I don't want to. If
I don't want to. Figuring out that it's turn down the sound.
Is he proud? Are we proud? Guess we forgot it matters. In some trouble, mystery, but don't turn away. My question,
We're in some trouble, Mr. Make you don't turn away from your screen. So welcome back. I'm Quinn. I'm 27 and I use my lifelong organization skills plus the concepts I've learned as a mathematician and systems modeler to really bridge the gap between who I am today and who I want to be. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about the 5 choices I'm making right now to build my dream life. Like, this is a time that changes and habits that are formed can impact us for years to come, because contrary to popular belief, this is actually only the beginning of our lives. But I really want to make sure that I'm making very intentional choices right now. So in order to get my dream life, so picture it with me, because if you're finding this in the future and you see this, then you're already witnessing it on this channel. But picture it with me for now. So my dream life is Dr. Jones. I've completed my PhD. I have #graduated with my professional degree, and I'm now living my life as a scientist, making groundbreaking tools. Yes, I'm doing this as a professional mathematician while also building my YouTube community of super badass productive people, building the We're Productive People Club, and hosting events for my fellow productive baddies. We're having our weekly meetings, we're having our annual retreats, we're having our sessions. Like, we have a full community going, right? My dream life also consists of me having built my dream body. Like, my arms are so strong and my back is really toned and I'm loving my silhouette, and I am always, you know, getting my walks in the gym, and it gives She Works Out. It gives She Works Out on purpose, you know, and that because of that, I'm fully expressing myself. I've been investing in my wardrobe, and I have been wearing what feels comfortable and sexy, and I have been using my resources to fully express myself. I've gotten some more tattoos. I've really expanded what's important to me, and I am now showing it in every single way while contributing to both my personal, my public, and my professional communities. That's dream life. That's dream life, right? How am I getting there, babes? Start it right now. I'm making the choices right now. I'm acting like it right now. I'm acting like it right now. Let me put some clothes on.
Everybody go miss, hey, we got some Pino. When they find me, I'm in Valentino. Ayy, pouring me shots, thinking it's lit. Ha, little did he know, but this ain't dramatic. Ayy, think it's going down. Ha, now he's staying corrected. Ayy, it kinda feel like you plotting, watching. Why you speaking on me at my lowest when you ain't like you ain't know I'm tripping? I'm crazy, I'm about to stress him. Yeah, pink nails around his neck. But this ain't dramatic. Ayy, I ain't going. Yeah, no emotion. Ayy, back outside. Hey, back in motion. He say I'm crazy. Don't I know it?
Baby J.
I'm a nasty bitch. Always cute face. Lick the tape, Ray J. Hit the pussy close case. Eat the pussy up, yeah, eat the pussy up. Yeah. Soaking wet, that's how you know she fuck with you. He knows pussy player, I get jacking up. If the kitty pretty, baby, put your face in it. He wanna eat the pussy up, cause ain't no saving it, bitch. Ooh, fuck, make him eat it up. I ain't calling Peter, cause I love the way he beat it up. I'm a nasty bitch, let's get the coming. I'ma put the pussy on and I won't ever get to running. I love fucking with his head, ain't no telling what I said. Beat the pussy up, beat the pussy up.
Yeah, Amaru. Yeah, how you looking calm, baby, in spite of the body stretching, now your pinstripes. Got so much to tell you, come on inside. Hey. You was MIA from the invite, tryna give me daps with my hands tied. All I wish for, if you could go my way. Yeah, been had me from the start. You've been on my radar for too long. Want you to stay, babe. You'd never say the word.
The first choice I'm making to build my dream life is committing to building healthy habits now. A lot of the diseases that I have seen in my family are the types that take years and years to build up, and therefore can be somewhat prevented when we start taking control of our behavior. So personally, I have people in my family with diabetes, heart disease, heart failure, and blood clot disorders. And while a lot of it is generational systemic circumstances, framed as genetics outside of our control, there is a part that is in our control, and that is based in the habits that we can form to combat the severity of the stress we face in our day-to-day lives. The habits we form in our 20s can either make or break many lifelong illnesses or even prevent them altogether. So I am making sure that I am intentional about practicing daily movement, making sure that I am intaking foods that support what I need to make my body run efficiently, making sure that I am doing things that prioritize getting enough sleep, enough water, just forming these habits now so that I don't have to face the consequences of having not done these things for the last 5, 10, 20 years. I want to start now committing to these things so that they become a part of who I am intentionally.
Like lava, baby, lava, yeah, me, lava, with me, baby, yeah.
My eyesight has absolutely gotten worse. Everything is so blurry far away, so now I have to wear them even just walking, because when I'm walking and I can't even see the signs, I'd be mad as fuck. So now I wear my glasses before I have to get some thick ass glasses, you know what I'm saying, because they on their way. Oh my god. Whew. choice I'm making to make sure that I design my dream life is actually decentering men in all relationships. You are a woman or even a man in the United States, you were raised in a patriarchy where we are centering what men believe is right as leaders and whatever to guide our decision making. So for me, that means growing up I had a lot of centering. I centered a lot of my decision making around what my dad would think, what my brothers would think, what potential men I was interested in would think. And so that means I made a lot of decisions out of my abandonment wound or out of my attention wound and all of these things. And decentering men for my life looks like healing those abandonment wounds and making my desires the standard of my decision making instead of what some imaginary man in the future might want me to be like, or what some man who may or may not hire me wants me to be like, or what some imaginary man who has children thinks kind of an example I should set. Like, instead of making other people's particularly patriarchal standards my standard, I'm making my standard my center. So instead of letting some imaginary man, you know, the man in our head, the one that's always watching us, tell us what we should be doing, I'm deciding to listen to myself. And this has really been allowing me to just stop masking entirely. When I realized this was necessary a while ago, I didn't have the terminology for it like I do now about decentering men. But when I made this decision some years ago, about a year and a half ago, I realized that I could stop masking entirely. I can stop being inauthentic under the societal pressure of I need to be a certain standard. You know, I let that go when I decentered men. And this allowed me to do so much more. When men were the center of my life, let me tell you the kind of shit I was doing. When men were the center of my life, I would be competing with other women for men's attention. I would be staying quiet even when I knew I was hurt or feeling bad, just so that a man would choose me to stay around. I would put on a front of who I would be, either more sexual or more available or just different than I actually am in order to be chosen by a man, or like dressing different or going different places so that I could be seen a certain way as a wifey material or whatever in the eyes of men, whether these be real men, imaginary men, men on the internet, men on the street, like always wondering what a man would be thinking. And there's a lot of women I've been in friendships too who have like reinforced this for me as well, like making me want to, because they do as well. And I've just had to decenter men altogether and also only really fuck with people who also have decentered men. It's so important to let it go because men don't even know what they want. The patriarchy knows that all it needs is slaves and robots. So if you're forever trying to mold yourself to be acceptable under patriarchy, if you're feminine in any way, you will never win. You will only be seen as a servant. So I've just had to decenter that whole ideology, that whole way of living together, like all together. And I'm so much happier. It allows me to make more authentic friendships. It allows me to choose better partners. It allows me to be more discerning when it comes to allowing people in my space, because I get to just live in my authentic desires and actually figure out what those are instead of shaping my desires around what people told me they should be. So it's been super amazing, and it's the only way I'm going to find the community of badass women that I'm looking for, and it's the only way I'm going to find, you know, an amazing partner who understands what kind of things are important to me and that my desires are important. And like I just feel like making this decision is the only way I'm going to stay true to what I know is important to me instead of becoming the most digestible form ever. Like, it's okay to be unique, it's okay to be authentic, and this is the first step for me in that. So definitely a choice I'm committing to. Dr. Jones acts off what's in her heart, period. So how far am I in my walk? I'm 0.73 miles into my walk. How many minutes? 25 minutes in. I've been going pretty slowly today. I have this week been thinking more about speed than usual. Like, I have been focusing on time for all of October, and then the first week of November I was still focusing on time, and then this week, today is Saturday, I've been focusing on speed a little more, and I got my mile back down under 20 minutes. But that was during the week. Since it's the weekend, I'm still doing like an active rest and I'm just chilling. So it's gonna be like a 30-minute mile today, baby. We're just taking our time. Lucky I came out the house. God damn it. Almost didn't. Almost didn't. So let me finish this so I can actually get back in the house, because so much to do building the dream life. Excuse me. I don't know what's happening, but it's a bunch of black people in colors of purple and stuff. They look super beautiful. I don't know what's going on, but yay for whatever it is. quesadilla like this last time. It's still cooking on the stove, where I added all these ingredients. Like last time I made it, I added the beans for the first time, and I normally do add all three like of these, but I added beans for the first time and a little more taco seasoning, and it was so fucking good. So I'm gonna make that again, or I'm making that again. I had to stop by the grocery store to get me some more tortillas. I've been using these. They say carb balance. I don't know what that means, but they taste good. So that's what I'm doing. Ooh, this meat is done and ready, baby. Done and ready. Like, here's your fajita, ma'am. Your fajita's ready. When they walk by with the sizzling pan. Yeah, boy. Next up is the vegetables. But before I fully get into that, I wanted to talk about the next choice I'm making to build my dream life, which is being deliberate about listening to my body. I've gotten so much better at my interoception, so you know, understanding the signals from my body and then interpreting them, what they mean, and then responding to them, like trying to make sure that I alleviate any symptoms that might be coming up for me. And as we get older, all the processes just slow down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It gets, your metabolism needs a little more work to be upkept, your water intake needs to be upkept, muscles are harder to maintain as you get older, so you have to be a little more intentional about growing them. Like, there's so much that happens to our bodies as we get older, so we have to be very intentional about listening to ourselves so we can know when something's off. And that's like medically and like health wise, but even just as far as mentally, for me, being myself and being authentic means that I have to be honest about what I'm feeling and acknowledge that, be aware of it, and also respond to it. So in order to be more receptive of my needs, that means I have to actually care about them, prioritize them, and adjust for them. A lot of times, like, we might be aware of our needs but ignore them, or you know, not know that, like, oh, I really should be going to bed earlier, doing this more, but that's okay, I'll just deal with it. And I don't have time for it anymore. Like, that kind of stuff, it compounds quickly, and I don't want to show myself that I value my needs, that I value my word, that I value my comfort. So if something comes up for me, I'm writing it down, I'm looking up solutions, I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm listening to my body, okay? So I even have a list. Listen, I wrote a list because there's some things I'm dealing with now at 27 that I just did not have to deal with at 25, at 23, goddamn. Let me tell you. So on here I have to wear my glasses now. I told you earlier, my eyesight has gotten so much worse. so much worse. I can barely see clarity of myself in this screen. It's ridiculous. So I make sure I wear my glasses, especially when I'm doing up close things. I even wear them on my walk now. Like, who am I literally have to wear sunscreen. I'm starting to deal with discoloration in my skin a little bit from not doing that, and I am black. We do need sunscreen. I'm not arguing about that. So I need to be more intentional about that. I bought some. That's the rub-on kind, so I've been practicing using that. I also need to actually make sure I sleep with a pillow under my back. Like, y'all see my big ass titties? My big ass titties. Ooh, literally my chest just popped. Like, literally there's always a lot of upper back pain more than lower back pain. My lower back is a lot stronger now that I've been going my glutes, but I'm still working on my upper body, so I'll have pain up here, and I find that that's alleviated when I put a pillow here under my chest and not just on my neck, because I do have like a not straight spine there as well. So just actually making sure I have that and not waking up with back problems does so much for my mood. I definitely need breakfast. Like, I cannot be one of them intermittent fasting people that don't eat till like 1 p.m. Like, I know there's all kinds of intermittent fasting, but I could never do the kind of person who doesn't eat breakfast, because having PCOS and also just the fact that with this weight loss journey, I'd be waking up starving, waking up like I never ate before. And I need breakfast if I'm going to work out, if I'm going to go on my walk, if I'm going to be at all happy. I'm going to absolutely eat breakfast. Like, I have to. Another thing I have to do is make sure I'm aware of my shoes. Like, on my walk today, I wore my Crocs because I was going for a leisurely pace. But throughout this week, I've been wearing my actual walking, running shoes because I was caring about tempo and speed. And I don't want my feet hurting. Like, oh my gosh, the older I get, like, just standing on my feet, even working on my standing desk, I'm like, oh my gosh, my feet, I'm not as on my feet as I used to be when I was working more fast food retail jobs. And now that I've been doing a lot of desk work, I've been having to get back used to being on my feet. So I want to limit as much discomfort in my feet as possible. So now I wear the appropriate shoes depending on my task, like flat shoes for the gym, walking and running shoes for outside, Crocs for low impact stuff. So definitely aware of that. And then similarly, like, I'm a heels girly. I wear heels. I love heels. And so I practice wearing heels at home so I don't trip. And then if I know how long I can last in a heel is only maybe like 4 hours, but I have to be somewhere 6 hours, bring a backup pair of shoes. Just like knowing what my body needs, and like, instead of trying to push through the pain, fight through the discomfort that we're told we're supposed to do, I'm just going to make adjustments so that I stay comfortable. Have the backup pair of shoes, wear the appropriate shoes, have the sunscreen. You know what I'm saying? Even like my my face and everything, like, I'm now having more chin hairs and stuff because of my genetics. So I even have to make sure that I am being intentional about my skincare and my hair care, because those things are genetic and I've seen how they can like turn bad. So I want to make sure that I am being careful about those things now. And this is just ongoing. I have even more, and I'm just gonna shut the fuck up because the list is ongoing. Our body is always changing, our needs are always changing, and so I want to listen to those things closely, pay attention to those things, and then adjust for them, because I prioritize my comfort. I prioritize my pleasure. I'm not trying to ever be unhappy, uncomfortable for too long when I don't have to be. I get to choose this life. I get to help design it. Like, that's in my power. So no discomfort for me, listening to my body and adjusting accordingly. And that's why I'm going ahead and making this food right now, because I was gonna make something else, but I needed something filling. And things with protein are more filling than things without protein. So let's finish making this. It's been good as fuck. It is 5:19 and it's already dark. We are definitely out of daylight saving time, friends. And I just feel like my day is over already and there's still 7 more hours in the day. It's like ridiculous. This should be having me turning on lights in my house. Like, I'm normally a warm light kind of girl, and I mean I am when I'm about to go to bed, but now I got all these damn lights on because it's dark as fuck outside. I normally use my windows for sunlight and that would last me until 8 p.m. but now it's lasting me till 5. Turn on some lights. All light. I think I'm gonna use all the beans. Last time I used just a little bit of bean just to see how I would like it in there, and that shit was buzzing, so I'm gonna like pour the rest of these cans in there. Let me stop eating this meat before I have no meat in my quesadilla. Oh my god.
This was human error. Hospital nursery wristbands fell off, got mixed up. There is...
gonna say private practice got me crying.
I'll get you tissue.
Wow. Black women. Oh my god. Whew. Private practice got me crying. Okay, let me clean myself up. On to quesadilla number 2. Honestly, the cheese and the beans are really elevated. Like, it definitely gives a Taco Bell quesadilla. Like, I love being able to make this shit at home. Love it. Love it. Oh, hashtag healthy. Anywho, look, the other choices that I've been making that I'm literally celebrating right now. I'm sitting here watching TV, eating my stuff, eating my food on a Saturday night. And even though I am very much so a PhD student and I do my work, I do my work when I feel led to, but one choice I have been making lately to make sure that I have my dream life is making sure I am intentional about my work-life balance. I have seen too many women. I watched my mom almost die from a heart attack and have to go through extensive surgery because of a lifelong amount of stress and overwork and labor, emotionally, physically, all kinds of things. And some of that is being forced on her, and then some of that was just a lack of boundaries. And I've seen amongst many other Black women that we are already expected to perform so much labor in our relationships, for our families. Like, even though it's a patriarchy, I know so many Black women that are actually the heads of their households, who actually make the most amount of money, who actually do the cooking and the cleaning, whose list of responsibilities is like 8 things long, whereas like the men in their lives list is like 2 things long: bills and sex. So it's like women have so much more responsibility, even not even just marriages, but like in motherhood, in relationships, in their job is always expected to be secretary. Like, we always have so many expectations of what we're supposed to be doing for other people, because in this patriarchy we're seen as service members. And while I get some people enjoy service, love that for you, I'm not about that. I'm about doing things out of my heart and out of choice, right? So I have become very picky about how I'm spending my time and what I'm spending my energy on, because time is energy. Now that I have been tracking my time through my bullet journal and just so many other things, I realize that they're really interchangeable, that how I spend my time impacts my energy, and the energy that I have impacts my time. So they really go hand in hand, and I need to make sure that if I am going to be happy and energetic, then I need to set boundaries around what I'm spending my time on, how much effort I'm putting into it, etc. And because I have so many different passions, my YouTube, my fitness journey, my community, my PhD, like I have all of these different areas, and I don't want any one place to be too big. I want them all to be relatively equal as part of my like framework, my quilt of identity. So right now I am trying to take stock of what I'm spending my time on. I've been tracking my time October, November, December, so I can make an evaluation of what my time is going to the most. And then I want to go into 2024 making sure that I'm intentional about, like, do I need to spend more time in one area versus the other to even things out? What do I need to do to make sure that I'm not feeling overwhelmed? I have so many passion projects that I want to see come to fruition, and so I need to make sure that I am on time with those things, that being successful in one area doesn't mean that I'm less successful in another. I need to stay on top of that. So I stay on top of that by becoming organized. I stay on top of that by being organized and using my bullet journal and actually staying accountable for what I'm saying with y'all as often as possible. And I also want to keep myself from becoming resentful. We feel a lot of resent towards our jobs or towards our friends based on the decisions we're making. Some people have better work-life boundaries, and so when they're done working and you're not, you might be resentful of how much time you're spending at work, or you might be resentful of work taking away your time to spend with your family or your partner. You might be resentful of, you know, you're trying to build a business but it's taking away from the quality of your relationships. Like, we can notice when things are becoming resentful, when we are becoming resentful, when we're becoming overwhelmed, when things are doing the opposite of what we want them to, and we can adjust. Like, we have that in our power, and I am taking advantage of that. Keep resentment away by setting boundaries with others and by setting boundaries around my time. I do not do PhD work for real on the weekends. I dedicate editing and filming to my weekends so that I have balance for YouTube and then when I'm getting paid Monday through Friday, I do my PhD work. And that's just how I view it, regardless of the expectations that are placed on me. Like, that feels like balance. And even during the weekday, they're not paying me 24/7. I make $25K a year, babe. They're not paying me for more than 6 hours a day. So I do not give more than 6 hours a day. I'm so sorry. That's just me. I'm making decisions that align with having balance, doing what is required of me, doing what, optimizing the time I'm spending. Like, sure, 6 hours of my time may not seem like a lot to someone that's working 11 hours a day. Rip for you. But in that 6 hours, I want to optimize. I might be getting hella shit done. I might make so many advancements. So that's what I care more about, and less about, oh, I'm never sleeping. That'll never be me. Never me in my life. It'll never be me in my life. No, no, no. So I keep boundaries around my time, and I keep my boundaries with others. Right now, I'm very much so in an isolation phase. I am building my life. I don't have time for distractions. I don't have time for things that are not within my mental landscape. So if it's not about becoming better, if it's not about fitness, if it's not about math, I'm not engaging with it. I'm not consuming it. So I have boundaries around that. I even told my sister was trying to talk to me, and I was like, I love you and I appreciate you reaching out to connect with me, but I'm busy right now and I'm not really talking to people except for on the weekends, and that's if at all. So I will call you back. I will return your call on the weekend, not today in the middle of a Tuesday. I have no time. I've already scheduled out what I'm doing this week. So sorry. Like, that's how I set my boundaries with other people. Like, I love you. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate the connection. Let me get back with you because these are my priorities right now. And that's just how I've been having to move. Like, I am building my dream life. I don't have time to be sidetracked and blown into other people's issues. I have spent a lot of time in grad school letting myself be distracted by other people's business and letting other people's problems become my problems. And here I am 5 years into my program. If I had been a little more serious about committing to these boundaries in my time and actually having balance, who knows where I would be. So I'm committing to this right now, so I don't have this problem when I transition into the workforce. I will already have my strict hard stops. I will already have my optimized time and my Pomodoro techniques down. Like, I want all of this already a part of my lifestyle so that it is manageable and sustainable throughout my life. With this in mind, I am doing a lot to make sure that I stay organized and productive throughout this new year. I'm supposed to graduate within the next 6 months, and I have so many changes I want to bring to my channel to make sure that I'm really giving a full picture of who I am and what I'm interested in. So I just want to share some of the things that I have coming out in this new year. So first things first is I will be switching my upload schedule. So right now I upload every Monday, but starting 2024, I'll be uploading every Sunday. And that's primarily because I want y'all to have whatever I'm sharing to take with you during the week and not have it at the end of Monday. Like, I want you to start Monday with this information. So I'll be posting on Sunday starting January 1st. And then also I will be starting my Reproductive People Club. So the Reproductive People Club is essentially a community of people who are interested in staying ambitious and organized and building community of some like-minded ambitious people, primarily women. And I will be hosting a weekly Zoom meeting every Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. where we will be going through some yoga together. We will plan our weeks together, and then we will share and connect about what we're looking forward to. So 2 hours of just community building and authentic connection every Sunday starting in 2024. You can sign up for this through my email list. The link will be in my description box always. And I'm so excited about like building community and us all staying productive and motivating each other. Like, I'm very much looking forward to that. And then when you sign up for my email list, you also get access to the Live with Quinn monthly newsletter. So that's a monthly newsletter called the Write It Down newsletter, and it is 7 pages. It's also on my website and covers what you get a full look into what's coming up in the next month of content, because my videos are a month ahead. You get to see behind the scenes, and you also get more just personal info aside from what I share in my daily columns and in my videos. So just a behind the scenes type newsletter. These first 2 for November and December are live on my website, but the ones that will be in 2024 you have to sign up for on the email list if you want it ahead of time. That's for if you want to be like super intimately connected so that we can stay accountable more one-on-one. But if you do just want to stay here connected on YouTube, I have my daily column that I post every day reviewing my day for my ABCs of my mission, and I have my weekly reviews that I post every Sunday. And I've made some digital planners for 2024. I've made a content planner for anybody interested in creating vlogs or any kind of YouTube content, and I've also created a lifestyle planner. So I made the 2023 quarter 4 planner, and now I've made one for 2024 in 2 versions, landscape and vertical. So that will be available starting in December, and I will be having a new planner every quarter going forward in 2024, so that we stay accountable to our goals and keep our visions in mind. So I want to introduce a lot of this stuff to my channel so I can share the things that I've been doing for myself. I'm already having these habits ingrained in myself, but anyone interested in getting their lives together with me can join the WPP Club. So again, that link will be in the description at all times, and then you'll get the password protected link to the Zoom starting in 2024. So I'm super excited about that. Always check out the description box for any free downloads, any links, any updates, or follow me on Instagram where I post all the time. Yeah, all about staying accountable, babes. Like, work-life balance is all about accountability. If I don't know where my time is going, I can't be responsible for my time. I need to know what's going on. So I'm very happy about the way I've been recording it, and I can't wait for that video when I go through and see what I've been spending my time on, because what have I been spending my time on? My shirt has been on like this because I want to take it off. I should have taken it off, but what can you do? Because I'm gonna get in the shower. It's not even 7, and I'm just like, shouldn't I be going to bed right now? But I am gonna go ahead and get out these dirty workout clothes. Alright, I finally just actually took it off instead of having it at half on. I'm going to go ahead and switch into something more comfortable to end my night editing. It's only 7, but I want to go to sleep, so we'll see. We'll see, babes. We'll see.
I long for that feeling. Why did it have to go away? I long for that feeling. Remember everything.
I always do this thing where I start whispering at night, so now I have to be intentional about speaking aloud still. Alright, we're all good now. Y'all, I've started gua sha-ing now, and it makes me feel good. I haven't been doing it long enough. It's only been like 4 days, 3 days. So there's no difference yet, but like it feels good to like spend so much time touching myself and it be like not my vagina. So that feels good. It feels nice. My new phone came, so now I have 2 phones. Of course, I bought another camera-based case because I have a whole mental problem with documentation. Like, I'm obsessed with it, and I have been able to really enjoy kind of using one for backup planning and one for like active living. So I'm having a really good time. And just trying to use all the resources I have right now to my benefit to build my dream life. Speaking of, my 5th choice that I'm making to support my dream life is really about improving my focus and my quality of life, because both of those things improve my personal, abilities and skills. Like, if I'm focused, I can improve my skills better, and if I have like a good quality of life, then I am happier, less stressed, living better, reflecting, glowing. So like, those are a major priority for me. And a big indicator for our quality of life comes from our relationships, because we have a lot of stressors in our lives. Like, our income is a stressor, our location is a stressor, and like just so many things. Like, we live in America. I mean, there are people who are dying right now. So I mean, so many things, like bigger problems when it comes to our lives. So the very least we can do is manage what's going on in our interpersonal relationships. So like, I care a lot about personal power and what we can do to reflect our political values and our personal values in our relationships. Because to say we care about, people being happy and living authentically is one thing, but to create the space for it and to require it of myself and of others is also another thing. And so I model that kind of behavior in my relationships. So the choice I've been making is I'm really dedicated to letting people be themselves, like letting people show me who they are, accepting that people are not going to change for any reason that has to do with me, and just decide whether or not I find them aligned with my life. And I personally am loving this approach to relationships because it's made it easy to identify triggering relationships versus like healthy ones for me myself. So now that I understand my personal wounds better, I can better identify what things, you know, my little icks and my little things that get me going in a tizzy, like being ignored or feeling things that make me feel used or like a resource, or situations where I feel looked down upon or condescended to. Like certain kind of situations bring out feelings in me that are triggering, and so I therefore, when I notice those things happening in the relationship that I am building, I'm like, oh, no, this is not something healthy for me. So one of those things is low effort, neglectful, and non-reciprocal relationships. So I've had a lot of friendships. I've been trying to build friends since moving out to grad school. I've been in many friend circles, and I have a lot of, you know, casual friends and acquaintances, but as far as like good friends, I've only made about like 3 since grad school, and none of them live here now. So I have learned a lot about like quick friendships, you know, and a lot of those are these low effort, neglectful ones where people just want to use you for the party or for my camera or for, you know, my skills or my energy, like just trying to like get something from me as a resource but not as a person, like those kind of relationships, because those relationships also very rarely give me anything. Like they're taking something from me, benefiting from me in some way, but not giving me anything. And I don't really need to be given anything, but I don't need you taking from me either. So like I'm not interested in any kind of non-reciprocal relationship where I am just being drained, you know. Like I need reciprocity in my friendships. I believe in effort. I give myself effort. When I care about the people in my life, I show them effort, and when it is shown to me, I feel more encouraged to do it for them. So like I think that's important for having a good quality of life, instead of always chasing for people to return my effort. Just only align myself in connections with folks that already show reciprocity. So that's one of them. I also personally am like not really interested in relationships with any kind of abusive dynamics with anyone. Like we never choose to be abused, of course, but I do know that there are sometimes flags that I have intentionally ignored in previous relationships, or I will just downright have boundaries and then ignore them for myself in order to be around abusive people. And I no longer have any kind of threshold for that kind of behavior. Like I have absolutely no tolerance for abusive people. If I notice that you are abusing someone in your life, that you are neglectful or harmful to people around you, that you are doing it to me, and in any way just you are like a not good person, I am not interested in knowing you personally. Like I don't want to, I'm not interested. And so I've drawn very clear boundaries about that now, but I used to not do that. I change my number often. Okay, I don't talk about certain things with certain people. I will, you know, tell people, hey, you don't say that around me, like, or ever at all. Like I'm very, very clear about what I believe in now, and it took me a good while to get this kind of confidence about what's allowed around me. Like I don't play that shit, and because of that now I do have very few like in-person friends, because so many people connect through abuse and they bond over it, and they're mistreatment of people like it's a bonding thing, and I'm just uninterested. So I am spending a lot of time lately just like in isolation and trying to only really actually connect deeply with people that are in alignment with me. And for now, those people are not physically near me. They're like people that I can call and talk to. So that's fine for now, and I'm super excited about the transition of my life next year when I find more like in-person connections that are aligned with like these kind of values, people that care about reciprocity, people that care about, you know, kindness and care, people that care about feelings of vulnerability. Like all of that is important to me, and I want to make sure that I am cultivating that space within myself so that it's easily identified by other people, and so that people that don't have that kind of, you know, level of care to give me can stay the fuck away, and people that do have it can be like, oh, that's my kind of girl. So that's what I'm going for when it comes to my personal relationships. Like I really think these things will help improve my quality of life. They have really, and my life is mostly drama free, aside from like I said, our normal adult problems. As far as relationship problems, I am quite happy with the people in my life. Like, I'm only really fucking with people who get it already. I'm not educating, I'm not arguing, I'm not defending things that I know to be right and valuable to me. So if you don't get it, you don't get it, and you ain't gotta fuck with me. Like, that's really where I'm at with it. Because I don't have the time to be arguing. I really don't. Like, it's not fun for me. I have other things I can do that are fun. People that argue for fun don't have anything else to do that's fun. So no thank you. I will stay happy and connect with people that make me feel that way, so I can do the same for them. So that's something that I've been doing, and it's working. So I definitely am going to continue that, because I think as long as I stay in this kind of positive mind frame and that I am not being taken advantage of, it's easier to complete my goals and want to complete my goals. When I am being, you know, distracted or abused, there are always times when I fall off of what's important to me, because that's what they do. They get you to neglect yourself because they want to bring you down. Like, that's what abuse is. They want you to be less than. And if I can avoid just even setting myself up with people who show that they could do that, like, then I'll be all the better for it. So, and I've also just gotten really good at leaving when I do notice. Like, well, that's another video. The power of leaving, the importance of leaving, the importance of no. We're gonna get into all that later. But anyway, these are all the choices I am making to help myself build my dream life in 2024 and beyond. Like, this is a life thing. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about my life. I've had a lot of time to plan it with content creation and job market searching. I'm really in such a liminal phase where I can determine my next step in my next stage, like where am I going to be living, what I'm going to be doing, what my body will look like, what my clothes will be, how much money I have. Like, all of those are blanks right now, you know, and I will get the answers in 6 months. And so these are some very serious 6 months, and I really want to document it to just know what happened, and also to motivate myself to commit to these choices, because change only comes from choices. It only comes from committing to what we want, holding ourselves accountable for what we want, and adjusting to our resources and circumstances. I want to stay honest, and I want to stay myself as I become Dr. Jones, and, you know, stay Quinn in the process. So I really hope you stick around and help me stick to these, and comment down below any choices you're making right now to build your dream life. What does your dream life look like? How does 2024 play into that? Like, 2024 is the beginning of a new chapter for me, of a book I haven't even seen the cover art for. So I'm just incredibly excited, and I want to make sure I close this chapter like properly, that I'm setting myself up. So how about you? Let me know. And if you want to know how it goes for me, see you next week in my next video. Bye, friend. It really is going so well so far. Like, I legitimately, I've never been happier, and I'm still at the beginning. Thank God.